Hi everyone. So we're going to continue with measurement today. First, I wanted to review how to read a ruler using the half and quarter measurements. And then I want to go over eighths. And finally, we'll do a little bit of a measurement art project. So you will need a journal and you will need a blank piece of paper, as well as something to measure with. And remember, if you don't have a ruler or a printer to print one of these out, you can use measuring tape or a tape measure. If you don't have anything, let me know. So let's get started. I want to go ahead with our review first. Okay. Here you go. So let's start with the pink ruler. There is a line on top, and it's going to right here. Now, oops, you'll notice these rulers are split up into fourths or quarters between each whole inch. So that means one line would be 1/4, right? So 5, 5 1/4, 5 1/2, and then 5 3/4, or 5 3/4. And then I could write that in the box, and it would look like this: 5 3/4. Okay, let's try the next one. I'm looking at the blue ruler, and it's going just past the 10. So I want you to say out loud what measurement that would be. Okay, if you said 10 1/4, you are correct. Let's take a look at the yellow ruler. So start with the 8 and then go forward to this half line. So again, out loud, say what that measurement would be. Okay, if you said 8.5 inches, you are correct. Let's try 3 more. Take a look at the green ruler. Oh, that line measures right with the 3, so this would be 3 inches. And the purple ruler, the line goes past the 11, but not quite to the 12. So let's count it out. We have 11, 11 1/4, 11 1/2, 11 3/4. All right, and then the orange one, the line goes just past the 7, so we'll start with the 7, and it's 7 1/4. Okay. Hopefully that was a little review from yesterday. Today I want to go over eighths. So again, you'll need your journal, and you'll have to open to a new page. Title, measurement, just like yesterday. So MEASUREMENT, measurement. And the date is 6/2/20. And then this time we'll be counting by eighths. And you'll write it just like yesterday, counting by Go ahead and pause if you need more time. I'm going to move on in 3, 2, 1. All right. Let me show you some pictures. I'll share my screen. Here we go. Eighths. So you'll notice each circle is split into 8 pieces. So we're going to start with 1/8. I'll fill that in. That's 1/8. And in your journal, you can write 1/8. And since you're making a list of fractions, you'll separate each with a comma. Please don't go ahead. This does get tricky. So I started with 1/8. On the next circle, I would then do 2/8. But we're not going to write it as 2/8. We can simplify that. So you may notice this circle, we could also, it's not going to let me draw. Okay. We could also divide into 4 pieces, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And of those 4 pieces, 1 is colored. So to simplify, we would be writing 1/4. So 1/8, then 1/4. Okay, so we did 1/8. This circle at 2/8 or 1/4. Now we'll go ahead and do 3/8, which we can write as 3/8. We don't need to simplify there. It is already in simplest form. Okay, so in your journal so far, you should have 1/8, 1/4, 3/8. Okay, so now after 3/8, we will do 4/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, but don't write 4/8 because we can simplify this one. So you'll see I can actually cut this circle into 2 equal pieces with 1 piece fully colored. That's 1/2. 1/2 of the circle is colored in. So instead of 4/8, we will write instead of 4/8, we will write 1/2. They are equivalent fractions, meaning they're the same size, but 1/2 is a more simple way to write it. Okay, so we had 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8. Let's go ahead and do 5/8. This is another one we don't need to simplify. I'll go ahead and write it regularly. 5/8. Okay, let's go to the bottom here. So after 5/8 would be 6/8. But again, do not write 6/8. We can simplify this. Can you tell based on this picture what we could simplify it to? Let me draw some lines here. Okay, I split the circle into 4 equal parts. How many of those parts are shaded in? 3. 3 out of 4, or 3/4. So we're going to simplify to 3/4, which is equal to 6/8. Almost there. Let's go ahead and do 7/8. 5, 6, 7. We don't need to simplify this one. You can go ahead and write 7/8. Seven over 8 if you can't see that. Just a minute. Okay, so after 7/8 would be 8/8, which we can easily simplify. You should see that the whole circle is filled in. So instead of 8/8, we would write 1 whole. Okay, so make sure you have that in your journal. 1/8, 1/4, 3/8, 1/2, 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, and 1. Okay. I want you to continue the pattern all the way to 3. So after 1 would be 1 and 1/8. Then 1 and 1/4. Then 1 and 3/8. 1 and 1/2, 1 and 5/8, 1 and 3/4, 1 and 7/8, then 2, and then continue to 3, counting by 8ths. I'll give you a minute to do that, and then I'll show you my paper so you can check your work. Go ahead and pause if you need more time. I'm going to exit this screen and I'll show you my work in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Counting by 8ths is tricky. Sorry, 8ths, not 8ths. Okay. If you need time to check, you can pause. I want to go ahead and go to the ruler game. We'll try it by 8ths, and then we'll move on to our art project. So let's see, I'm going to go to rulergame.net. There we go. So we'll go to that ruler game, for the settings, I'm going to put it onto eighths. Let's play. Oh, it's starting off easy, 1 inch. Okay, 3 5/8, so I'll go to 3 and then count out 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. 2 1/4. Now I can't just go 1. That would be 2 1/8. So you may remember 1/4 is the same thing as 2/8. So I'm going to count out 2/8. 1, 2. This would be 2 1/4. 2 inches. 2 1/8. Right? If it's in eighths, it's easy. I can just count it out. So 2 1/8. See, 3 inches. Ooh, 3/4 of an inch. Now, this isn't an eighths, so I have to be a little more careful. So when I'm thinking of 0 to 1, in my head, I'm going to count out the fourths. So this would be 1/4, 2/4, 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 is the same thing as 6/8. And then 1/2. To be right in that middle, and that half line's a little longer than the other ones, so it's easier to see. 3/4 again, I remember it was right here. 3/4 is 6/8. We got 1 1/4. Okay, and I could continue on. I would like you to try this later. You don't have to do eighths. The eighths are still too challenging and you need more practice with halves or quarters. Go back to those like you worked on yesterday. If you mastered those, give eighths a try and just remember how to count it out. If you have your journal with you, it might be helpful to remember that 1/4 comes after 1/8. 1/2 is, of course, right in the middle. And then 3/4 would be after 5/8, and so on. So you can use that to help you. All right, so let's move on to our measurement art project. You will need a blank piece of paper and a ruler. And today we are going to draw a school using inches, half inches, and quarter inches. So make sure you have your ruler ready to go. And you also need a piece of paper and something to draw with. Okay, step 1. Our school will have a bottom of 5.5 inches. So I'm going to draw it out and then I'll show you. Remember, you always start at 0. Okay. So at the bottom, I just have a straight line. And you'll see it measures to 5.5 inches. Okay. Okay, the school's 2 sides. This would be height that's going up. Each side is 4.5 inches tall. So one line going up on each side. Again, you have to start it at 0, and then you'll go up 4.5 inches. Doesn't have to be perfect. Show you mine. I'm using a pen and it smeared a little, so that's not really supposed to be there. So this bottom part's 5.5 inches, and then the lines going up are 4.5 inches. Okay. You can always pause if you need more time. I'm going to move to step 3. The roof of the school has 2 diagonal lines. Each line is 3 inches. So you'll do a diagonal long line going up to the center, and it's 3 inches long. Maybe you can see mine from here. It's the roof of the house, so each of those diagonal lines is 3 inches. I'm gonna move to step 4, so pause if you need more time. Okay, the school's 2 doors in the center. Each door is 1/2 inch wide and 2 inches tall. I'm gonna make my 2 doors together. Okay, so if each door is 1/2 inch, together they would be 1 whole inch. So my door will be 1 inch wide, and I'll put a line in the middle where it's 2 connecting doors. So 1 inch wide, 2 inches tall. And then I'll put a line right in the center. Ooh, these are tall doors. Tall and skinny. You can see mine up in the corner. Let me exit the screen to show you a little better. Okay, so this is 1/2 inch. This is 1/2 inch. Together it was 1 inch. Then I did 2 inches going up. Okay, pause if you need more time. I'm moving to step 5. The school's a bottom, skip that. Step 6, the school has 2 windows in front. Each window is 4 equal sides. That means it's a square, right? Squares have 4 equal sides that are all the same length. Each side is 3/4 of an inch. So you're making us 2 squares, because there's 2 windows. Each side of each window is 3/4 of an inch. You can put the windows wherever you want. from my windows. I'm gonna add some details. Maybe I'll put some kids inside waving out. There's two kids waving. Say hi. It's definitely a two-story school if they're all the way up here. All right, you'll have more time to add details at the end. I'll move on to the next slide. Okay, the school has a large flagpole on the right. Do you know which side is the right? Most of you are right-handed. It means you write with your right hand. You also put your right hand over your heart when we do the Pledge of Allegiance. So think about which side of your school is the right. Also, you might notice your left hand forms an L. L for left. Okay, so the flagpole is 5.5 inches tall on the right side of your house. I'll show you mine. My right, not sure if it shows up the same. It's kind of a mirror effect on here. So this is my flagpole. It's 5.5 inches tall. And then there's just one more step here. You draw the USA flag hanging from the flagpole. So our flag is red, white, and blue. Now you don't need to have too many details because it's pretty small. I definitely don't expect you to fit in all 50 stars. You can just fit in as many stars as you can, or dots are fine. There's my flag, the stars and stripes, which I would then color in. So this part would be blue, and the stripes are going to be red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white. And that's it. That's your school. Now there's a lot of details I can add, but this is the basic drawing using your measurements. I'm going to spend more time on mine. Of course, I'm going to color the flag. I might draw a line here for the roof. Maybe put some shingles on top. Maybe add some bushes or trees, flowers. Maybe some more kids. In the sky, I could add a sun and clouds. Maybe some birds flying, or even an airplane. Oh, and I could even write Kittredge on the school. I have a lot of ideas for working on this. Hopefully, you have some ideas for working on yours as well. So take some time to finish it. When you're done, take a picture and you'll upload it under measurement picture. And that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon and that you're staying safe. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.